Okay, I am going to try this again because I got like some weird error on my phone. Another YouTube video, second one, and I can't upload these videos from my phone. I have to get to a computer. So at some point, these things will get uploaded. But you're looking at a book right now that I have. It's Medicine Cards book, and if I can just show you the cover, Medicine Cards. It's a companion book that comes with cards, and it's very similar to tarot, where they have different card spreads and all that. The only difference is it's dealing with animals. I'm kind of more drawn to that, more drawn to the shamanic parts of spirituality. But my spirituality is kind of what do you call it? Kind of like a buffet. And of course, I'm doing this video talking about my spiritual traditions because I was just listening to Wicca Alex talk about his more about his traditions. I actually favorited that video, so if you want to go to my favorites and look at it. I found out about him through someone else I've subscribed to, Aurora Moon Wolf, and she was talking about him, and it was interesting, so I went to his channel to check him out. And I thought it was a good idea to talk about our spiritual traditions, because it is important that we share our spiritual traditions, and that we also honor each other's spiritual paths, because we're all here. Even in Christianity, it can be in Christianity, but there will be some parts of Christianity that some people will follow more than others. It's just based upon the individual and the lessons that they need to learn in that life. Now, I suppose I can start with reincarnation. I do believe in reincarnation, but not the same idea that most people believe when you think of reincarnation. Because in the Bible and biblical theology, they talk about the one life. And I believe in the one life. But a lot of people think that the life that we're living now is the one life. And I don't believe that. I believe our life started long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, where we came in as a new individual into this universe, and we worked our way up to these human bodies that we have, and so we still have I do believe we have other lives in the past, but when we die in one life and reborn in another, we don't really die or reborn. Like when we die on this earth plane in the physical, we are reborn somewhere else. Sometimes people are reborn back into the physical. Sometimes they would go to some type of spiritual school or some type of place where they do spiritual studies, probably outside of this universe. And I do believe there's an outside to the universe. And then we do that for a bit, and then we then we're born into the next life to learn certain lessons that we need to learn in the physical. And we go through this, and that's our one life. So I do believe that many of us are like really, really old, you know, millions of years old, you know, because I mean, energy cannot be destroyed; it can only be redirected. You know, in a sense, we're energy. You know, and God and the goddess are energy. And that's also something else. Too. Even though I do believe that there is a physical God, I don't believe in the what do you call that Greek god? Zeus. I don't believe it's like a Zeus type god. I think when people think of God, they think of more the Zeus type character, some old guy on a throne somewhere. I don't believe that is God. I believe God's a different entity. Actually, I believe the universe that we're living in right now is God's body. You know, and if you think about it, um, you know, I use the understanding of God to like from the understanding of what we already know about being human. Um, you know, like each of us, no matter if we're born as male or female, we have both male and female energies flowing through us in various degrees. Um, just as um, just as the physical God and the spiritual or soul God, or if you want to think about it the other way, as a Holy Spirit or the Great Spirit, you know, as Native Americans call it. I follow a lot of Native American teachings because I think it's just beautiful. You know, I love the Native American stories. You know, it's like when I walk in onto a powwow, Native American powwow, because we have a lot of them around here, especially during the summertime. It's almost like walking into a Catholic church. I feel the sacredness. You know, I feel the same type of sacredness walking into a powwow as I do walking into a Catholic church. I grew up Catholic. I did all the sacraments up to First Communion, not First Communion, confirmation, you know, up to confirmation. And then after confirmation, I started my spiritual journey because I wanted to know more about other religions. So I started learning, spent a lot of time, you know, learning about the other Christianity religions. Then started getting into more of the esoteric and more spiritual stuff. And, you know, one other thing, and that's also, you know, that the god and goddess, I believe, are one energy, one form. You know, just like, you know, there's male and female energies within each human being. So, too, in the physical God, you know, is God's both male and female at the same time. The physical God and, of course, the spiritual God, the soulful God, soul, whatever, Holy Spirit, however, or Great Spirit, whatever, because there's the physical and there's the spirit. Different aspects of God, just as each human being has different aspects too. And, you know, I think it would be great if one day people could honor each other's own spiritual paths. You know, maybe instead of having churches, we have like spiritual centers where each one of us goes to a spiritual center and just learn different things spiritually. You know, just as if we were going to school. We go to a spiritual thing. That would be nice. And I think we are headed towards that way. I think a lot of the dogmatic religious stuff, they're on their way out. That's why we have a lot of problems with terrorism, because of a lot of people holding on to the old ways of things, and those old ways are changing, whether they like it or not. And so we're all moving to a more common spirituality, where each person, has their own lessons that they learn in this physical life. Because the other thing, too, that I also find odd is anyone who thinks that their religion is the only religion or is the true religion, and there's still a lot of people like that. They think, oh, this is a true religion, there's no other religions. Well, they're still dealing with the ego. They don't know anything about the divine. And I say that because where was I going with this? I was on a train of thought. Because everything is changing. We're all changing. We all have different lessons. And oh yes, I know where I was going with that. Because every single religion, the spiritual belief system, it talks about something that no human being has ever seen, or at least remember seeing. I mean, I do believe that in between one time in the physical plane and another time in the physical plane, we do know this. We do know what's in the spiritual, but when we're here in the physical, no human being on this earth knows what's in the physical, throughout history. So how can you say something's 100% true if you don't really know, if you've never really seen any spirit? Because when we talk about spirit and soul and spiritual journeys and all that, we use a lot of symbolism. And the symbolisms, they help us to connect to certain energies and certain energies and certain ways of thinking. It's another way for the human being to understand that spiritual. So, and that's, one thing that, we got to realize here in the physical, that none of us have actually seen the spiritual. We don't know what's on the other side until we actually go to the other side. So if you say you know what's on the other side without even going on the other side, well, I mean, there's just something wrong with that thinking. Anyways, that's kind of like my spiritual belief system in a nutshell. It's pretty much a, what do you call it? Can't think of that type of dinner. When you go to the dinner and they have a buffet. It's a buffet type thing, where I take a little bit from every little dish, sampling every little thing out. So anyways, I'll talk more of this in other videos. I'm nearing the 15-minute mark, so I'm just going to cut it short right here. Thank you for listening to this, and may the Force be with you all, and stay creative in the magic of life. Thank you.